After talking to over 10,000 sellers over the past 20 plus years, I've narrowed down the process to convert a motivated seller lead into a signed contract. I call it my closer framework, and this is a video you don't want to miss because if you follow all 8 steps in my closer framework, exactly how I'll show you on this video, you will see a massive improvement in your conversions. All that and more coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Wholesaler Contract Pack with all the contracts you need to flip houses without risk. Claim your free copy at wholesalercontracts.com.
A lot of people who watch my live seller calls ask me how I'm so good at closing sellers into signed contracts. And while it's true there is a bit of an art to being a good closer, there's also a science to it. Specific steps intentionally designed to convert sellers into closed deals. In fact, in my simple proven closer framework, there are only 8 steps. No more, no less. And my promise to you is that if you follow this framework to the T, it will work like magic for you. Let's get to work. Once you've generated a lead, which I'm going to define as someone who says they are interested in selling and would entertain a cash offer, step 1 in my closer framework is to ask what price they want for the property. Now, while it may seem premature to ask about price right away, it's very important to set the tone and put you in the driver's seat in the sales process. At this point in the conversation, it's not about the price they tell you. That doesn't really matter. It's about the psychology behind them naming the price first. There's an old proverb, he who names the price first loses. When you ask price right out of the gate, you instantly become the authority. From that moment on, unless you screw it up, they are chasing you, not you chasing them. And it's real simple. Just say, Mr. Seller, I'm excited to see if we can help you out with your property. Before we take a look, tell me, what price were you hoping to get? Step 2 is to uncover motivation by asking a series of questions. Now, I call this discovery, and after talking to over 10,000 sellers in my career, I've narrowed it down to just 4 critical questions that you need to ask. The first question is, tell me a little bit about what's going on. What has you wanting to sell right now? Now, the answer will let you know if there is distress. Another way to ask this same question is to say, I'm curious, why haven't you listed it for sale with a real estate agent? Now that question is powerful because non-motivated retail sellers list with agents. So that question helps uncover what's really going on. The second discovery question is, assuming we agree on an acceptable offer, how soon are you hoping to close and get cash in your pocket? Or you could say, assuming we agree on price and terms, is 30 days enough time to close, or do you want to close even faster? This lets you know the seller's timeline and if there is urgency. The third question is, tell me a little bit about the condition. Have there been any updates done in the last 5 years? Now, resist the temptation to deep dive the property's condition. At this point, you don't need to know a lot of detail. That will come later during due diligence. You're already assuming that it needs work, so for now, keep it high level. And finally, the fourth question is, in order to make a decision about selling your property, is there anyone else that you would need to get on board, like a spouse? Or you could say something like, is there anyone who would be upset if we put a deal together today? This is so you make sure you're talking to all of the decision makers. Now, step 3 in my closer framework is to get the seller to commit to sell before negotiating on price. I call this the pre-close, and it looks like this. I'm not saying I can, but if I could get you an acceptable offer, would you be opposed to putting together an agreement today? Now, never forget, small commitments lead to big commitments. So now that we have a commitment from the seller, step 4 is to revisit their asking price, but now restate the solution to the problems that you identified during the discovery. It sounds like this. If I could get you an offer that was as is, so you don't have to make any repairs, for all cash, so no appraisals or financing, with no commissions or any cost to you, and if I could close on your timeline, what would you be willing to take for an offer like that? Now, this is when the seller will give you a more realistic price. After getting the seller to adjust their ask price, now it's time to start the negotiation process. And in order to do that, step 5 is to determine the most we can pay for the property to make it a profitable deal. We call this the maximum allowable offer, or MAO for short. Once we establish that, we have a target to stay under when negotiating. So the big question is, how do you determine the MAO on each and every offer you make? Well, this is where my deal analyzer comes in. This calculator I created has completely revolutionized the industry because it removes all of the guesswork and it doesn't require comping properties or estimating repairs.
Still paying for property data? PropWire gives you unlimited property data, comps, and more for free. Download the PropWire app on the App Store or Google Play Store today.
Here's what it does. It uses Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com to determine the average as-is value. Then it calculates the exit price a local active cash buyer would pay for the deal. Then it builds in your profit using an algorithm that is based on the as-is value. And finally, it tells you exactly what your MAO needs to be. Now, if I lost you, don't worry. The point is, once you input the information, this calculator will tell you the MAO on every single deal. And to make it brain dead easy to use, we developed an AI version where all you have to do is enter in the address and it will run the calculator for you and tell you your MAO on each and every deal without having to even input any information. To get that AI calculator for free, just go to dealanalyzergpt.com. So now that you know the MAO, it's time to start the negotiation process. Now obviously your first offer, or what I call the anchor price, can't be the MAO or you won't have any room to negotiate. And the MAO is just the most you can pay anyways. The goal is to get the best deal you can. So step 6 is to give the anchor price, and the objective of the negotiation process is to land somewhere between the anchor price and the MAO. I call that the profit zone. So the next question is, how do you determine the anchor price and how do you make the anchor offer? And keep in mind, you haven't given a price yet to the seller, so the anchor is the first time you're presenting an offer price. So first, let me explain the rules of the anchor price. Number 1, it must be unrealistic, meaning really low. So low, in fact, that rule number 2 is that it should solicit a no. The seller should say, there is no way I could sell it that low. Now, I know that that can sound scary at first because you're worried it might be offensive to the seller, but remember, if you followed all of the steps up to this point, you've demonstrated confidence and authority, so trust the process and give the anchor with confidence. The third rule is that it's not a firm offer. It should sound like an idea. It should be a ballpark number or a range, not a concrete number. So for example, I usually anchor by saying one of two things. I'll say, in a perfect world, it would be great to be in the low 100s. Another way I might say this is, I imagine if you got other offers, they would be in the high 200s. Now this is very important. After giving the anchor, shut up. Resist the urge to talk. Let the silence negotiate for you. Don't talk and wait for the seller to respond. Remember, the anchor is a strategic rejection, so the response should be, there's no way I could go that low. If they don't, you didn't anchor low enough. When the seller rejects your anchor price, respond by saying, hey, I totally get it. That would be my price in the perfect world, but how close to that price can you get? And this is when the seller will start to come down on price. Now, step 7 is when you start the counter process, or what I call closing the gap. The goal with closing the gap is to strategically counter back and forth by staying as close to the anchor as you can, but not to exceed the MAO. The way this looks is you're going to anchor again slightly up from your initial anchor. So if your anchor was 100,000 and your MAO is, let's say, 150,000, you might say, if I could get closer to the 115 range, how would that sound? Followed by, how close to that can you get? And continue to repeat that process, slowly coming up, closing the gap. Now I think about it this way. Every $1,000 I can be under my MAO is another $1,000 in profit I just made on the deal. So once you've closed the gap and you're in that profit zone, step 8 is to finally give a firm offer. Say something like, I appreciate you working with me. I'd love to put a deal together with you. If you would be willing to put together an agreement today, I would be willing to come up to 138,000. Can we make that happen? Now at that point, lock up the deal and get it in writing. Now I highly recommend you use my wholesale compliant contracts. I give them to you for free. Just go to wholesalercontracts.com for that free download. Now like I said, this 8-step closer framework is the result of talking to over 10,000 sellers and doing thousands of deals over the years. The key is practicing and learning how to overcome objections, because the more comfortable you are following my closer framework, the easier and faster you'll do deals. And that's why I took all 8 steps in my closer framework and created a free report that you can download. I'll put that link in the description below and you can download it for free. On this video, I talked about how to close a warm lead using my closer framework, But the real challenge is, how do you get warm leads? I'm talking about sellers who have raised their hand and said they are interested in selling and would consider a cash offer. Well, depending on the market, the industry standard is between $5,000 to $10,000 in lead generation marketing costs per contract. To hire a full-time cold caller costs about $18,000 a year. Well, what if you could get better, faster, and easier results for 95% lower cost? Imagine how that would transform your business. Well, I want to invite you to watch a free training where I explain how we're using AI to generate warm seller leads and even set appointments for you. Now, this is truly a game changer. So click right there and watch that training to get all of the details, and I'll see you on the next video.